Okay, factory video is finished, and if you have any interest to our factories, you are welcome to visit us, and or you can leave messages and send us emails to maybe you have some questions, and I will try my best to support. Okay, next step, I will show our laboratory. Our laboratory is also very professional, have professional machines to test new products and qualification for the productions. 这样。Okay, now I would like to invite our Dr. He to make a presentation. Dr. He graduated from Manchester University, UK. He is very professional, and in the next step, he will introduce us some POE technologies. Okay, let's invite Dr. He.
Hello everyone, welcome. Today I will share something about the Power over Ethernet. So let's make a quick introduction of the PoE. PoE is a new technology, so which means you can use a single cable to transfer the data and deliver the power in the same time. So for some of these small electronic devices like cameras or IP phones, laptop monitors, you can just use a single data cable to power on. So you can save your system budget of the power cable. There are some of the PoE standard. The first standard is the PoE IEEE 2.3 AF. For this standard, they define a maximum power of 15 volts with the maximum current of 350 milliamp. For the next standard is AO 2.3 AT. So for this standard, the maximum power has been doubled up to 30 volts. So the maximum current can go up to 600 milliamp. The latest PoE standard is AO 2.3 BT. So for this standard, you can use up to 4 pairs in a single cable rather than just 2 pairs. So the power has been doubled up again to the 60 volts. And if you can deliver 1 amp current, then you can deliver up to 90 volts power. So that is the traditional data cable, which has 4 pairs of the twisted pair. However, for nowadays, in some of the automation and automotive environment, people intend to use a kind of single pair cable, which only got single pair twisted pair. The PoE is still applying to this kind of cable, but the name has been changed to power over data line. So just a single pair, but you still deliver data and power in the same time. So for some of the PODL standard, the first one is AO 2.3 BU. So this standard defines the 100 base T1 and 1000 base T1 physical layer. So you can receive up to 50 volts power with 1.36 amp current. The latest one is AO 2.3 CG. So this standard defines the 10 base T1L physical layer. So you can receive up to 52 volts power and 1.6 amp current. Let's see some of the impact of the to the cable when the PoE is on. So when the DC current flows through the conductors, the resistance will dissipate some of the energy into heat. So you can calculate that by the Ohm's law. Then if you bundle the cable up, then you can see the central one will become the hottest area in the whole bundle. So you have to assess this one, the central cable, operate under 60-degree temperature, which is normally we define the operating temperature of the data cable. And the next thing is when the temperature increased, the resistance of the copper increased as well. So that means the cable insertion loss will be increased. You still have to assess another thing is to make sure the insertion loss of your channel is still complying to the standard requirement. So in our lab, we apply those two standards and by using this test method specified in IEC 61156-1-4. So we use the cables run up as a bundle, and we fit in some of the thermocouplers to monitor the temperature. So we use a power supply to fit in the DC current, and we use the thermocoupler to monitor the data. Then you can see those are some of the numbers by giving different ambient temperatures and by giving different number of the cables in the bundle. Then you can record different temperature rise of the central one. So for these green numbers, which means by this kind of combination, the central cable operate under 60 degrees. But for those red numbers means the central one operate exceed the 60 degree, which we not recommended. Those are the cables. We still have to assess the connectors, which means your connectors still have to carry out the same amount of the current in the PoE environment. This kind of test is called current temperature derating test. So by giving the different ambient temperature, then you can record the maximum current your connector can carry. Then you have to make sure your derated current exceed the requirement, which means your connector is safe to use. Then another thing is, in real life, people intend to unplug the patch cord from the outlet while the PoE is on. Then when the patch cord release the jack, there will be an arc discharge here. So this arc discharge will damage the surface of the copper. Then you have to make sure your connector design is suitable to survive after the certain amount of the arc discharge while the PoE is on. So those are the how we test in our lab. Let's sum up. The PoE is very popular, very new technology. So in the futures, the PoE will apply to the CCTV, smart buildings, automations, automotives, a lot of the areas. In the Zhaolong lab, we assess our cable and connector products to make sure they can support the PoE environment in a safe level. So if you have any questions, please leave your message here. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dr. He, and a very impressive introduction about the PoE knowledges. Actually, we have already started the researches of PoE in Zhaolong laboratory. So if you are interested in our new technologies like PoE or cabling systems, you can leave a message or send email to us. I will try my best to send reply you as early as we can. Okay, next step. I would like to show our laboratory for your view.